How you doing, YouTube? It's Wiltonville Development. This is my 416th weekly update. Going to be a kind of quick one today just because I am so tired. I've been working for the last, today's Friday, so 3 days, just non-stop making sure everything was set up as best as I could for OSG, the official Strongman Games, which are going on this weekend in Daytona. Had a hurricane come through. That kind of changed plans for a lot of people. You know, my original plan was to come over there on Wednesday and just basically finish all the stones. It didn't happen. I went over there on Wednesday, but I only got through about 8 of them. I had 4 to replace. They were already made up. I just had to bring them there. So I said, okay, I loaded them up Wednesday night when I got home. And then plan was to drive there Thursday. Well, Thursday's right about when the hurricane was coming through. And checked online. All the bridges are open. I'm about to leave. I'm like, cool. Put it in the GPS just to make sure. GPS is like, yeah, it's about, 45 minutes, 50 minutes away. I'm like, cool, that's normal. So I set out. I'm about 20 minutes out, and all of a sudden, the GPS just goes, oh, hey, by the way, all the bridges are closed. So, I end up sitting in traffic for about an hour and a half, just not even moving. Before I finally just said, screw it, called it. And I had to go over to Tampa, which is about 2 hours from me, give or take, at some point during this week to get some stones that were used at a show that I wanted to bring home. I just couldn't leave them at the venue for a super long amount of time. The venue was cool. They had basically said, like, hey, if you want to leave these here for a couple weeks, we don't mind. But I was like, man, I got nothing else to do. The power's out at the house. I might as well just drive around. But I had to drive home first to drop those 4 stones and then go back over there, which didn't really add much time, honestly. When I checked how far I was at the place I was, because I hadn't thought, I was like, well, I really only need the 350 for this weekend. And I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll just go home, drop all the stones. End up driving over to Tampa, pick up all those stones, come back here, drop all those, reload the other 4. And then here we are again today, being Friday, and actually got there at a decent time, right around 8 o'clock. Finished up all the stones best I could. It's one of those situations where the containers that the stones are being kept in have some tacky on the bottom of them. So even though I've repolished and refurbished all the stones to the point where they don't even feel tacky anymore, they're basically now tacky sealed. At least the ones that got used last year. Some of the heavier ones, I'd say like the 375 and up, like the 375, the 400, the 425. Those didn't really see a lot of action, so most of those are still kind of the same as they were last year. They just have some bumps and bruises from shipping. But for the most part, every stone was done. And I got all those done today. Got the old ones that I had to replace, loaded up. Got back here, dropped those out, loaded up 3 of the 4 I need to take to the show. And those are for people picking them up. And one of the people was just kind of like, I'm not sure I want to be driving around with those 2 stones the whole weekend, yada yada. I said, no, it'll work perfect. I don't have a ton of stuff to put out for my booth, so I said, you know what, I'll just put these 4 stones. They showcase a lot of different things that I'm capable of. 2 of them are going to be, they have some dyes going on. One's a really nice blue people seem to like. One's a really deep dark green people will hopefully like. One's just a very basic, doesn't have any of the bells and whistles, and then one has a little, from the show last week, and a little Guy Fawkes mask on it, so it shows, I can do some stenciling work too. And that one also has a set-in-stone, one of my logos, so those 3, I'll bring those, and then have the one more. I'm just going to bring it on Saturday, or Sunday. I'll just bring that one, won't be a problem. And so it's been a very, very, very busy few days. I feel like tonight I can finally breathe a little bit. Got home at a decentish time. I'm actually going to sit down and eat something real, and then make an Instagram post real quick, and then my night is done. After I eat, I can just go to bed, get a really nice, good night's sleep. Get back at the arena at 8 a.m. tomorrow. The show doesn't start till 10, and it's not anticipated to be over until 10. So it could be a very long day for me tomorrow. We'll see how I feel when I get up. We'll see how I feel when I walk out here. I probably have to make some more tacky remover. But it's not a big deal. It is all good. Everything's going great. Really nice running into all the people I knew from last year, people I've known online and finally get to see, that kind of thing. So it's been a good day. It's been a good day. It's been a good week. Training took a backseat from Wednesday through today, obviously. Really not that big of a deal, though. It was anticipated, etc., etc. I've been doing so much stuff anyway, between standing, walking, moving, bending, loading, unloading, all this stuff. Like, it's been a workout today anyway. Polishing, all that stuff. So it's really not a big deal. We'll go back next week, see how I feel, and after that, we'll just play it by ear. I talked about maybe not doing the show, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel after the weekend. It's one of those things, if I'm not enjoying it, why should I do it? I don't lose anything by leaving, and my thought process is I don't really gain anything by going. So yeah, I still have some stuff to think about there. I want to just get through the weekend and see how I feel after that, and just go from there. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. That's the updates with everything. Training on Monday and Tuesday went fine, mostly deloads, so not a big deal. And yeah, that's it. Like I said, I'm tired. I'm gonna go eat, and then just go to bed, get some sleep. Have the alarm set for 6, but honestly, if I sort of wake up in the middle of the night for whatever reason and I feel good, I'm just gonna do some work, get some stuff made up, so I don't have to think about that anymore either. So it is all good, and yeah, we're gonna go from there. So yeah, stressy, but it's a good stress. It's a fun stress. It's a worth it stress. So yeah, try to find stresses that are worthwhile of your time, at the very least. And if you don't, then what's your excuse?